Alrighty, rockers, I promised you guys this week we'll be joined by the guitarist of Ares of Downset. Joining me now by phone here inside the asylum. I have him right now. Ares of Downset. How's it going, dude?
Pretty good, Turbo. How's it going out there in Brooklyn?
Going pretty good, man. Can't complain. We've been lucky. The weather's been good, so I can't really complain, man. How are things with you out in LA?
It's hot out here, but you know what I'm saying? I'm always glad to be home. And yeah, we're actually getting ready to play LA in the next couple of days, so that's going to be really cool. It'll be the first time Downset played LA in the last 9 years.
Yeah, that was one of the things in my preparation to speaking with you, because I remember hearing the name Downset years ago when they kind of disappeared, and then the name came across in my emails and about setting up to speak with you tonight. And I got to looking and digging around, and you guys are kind of the unofficial grandfathers of the whole rap metal thing.
I would say, when I really break it down to that, I would say Body Count may, Body Count's one of the first people I've heard really doing that rap metal, but some other bands out there too. But we've definitely been around since 1992 doing this. And to us, it's nothing new. We really look at this One Blood album that we just put out as us really going back more to our roots and putting what we would think is almost more of a traditional Downset record out. Maybe we have a little more metal drums on this record due to Chris Hamilton's unbelievable drumming skills, but we just came and did what came natural to us, dropping this One Blood album.
It's been 10 years in between albums for you guys, and there's been some minor lineup changes in that 10 years time. What was it like getting back together and doing things again when you guys are ready to get going again and do Downset again? I know, looking at the whole lineup situation. Yeah, you guys have been through a lot.
I'll break it down for you. Like on the first, this is the fifth album that I've done with Ray Oropesa as Downset. We've had basically on every 5 of these albums, other than me and Ray, we've had a slightly different lineup. On 4 of these albums, James Morris has played bass. On 2 of them, we had 2 guitars with Rogelio Lozano also on guitar. On 3 of the albums, Christopher Lee played drums, and on 2 of the albums, Chris Hamilton, who is our drummer now, is playing drums. The lineup we have now with myself, Brian Erswager on guitars, Ray Anthony Oropesa on vocals, James Morris on bass, and Chris Hamilton on drums, in my mind is truly the strongest live band that Downset could actually have. Yeah, everybody that's on their craft is constantly getting better and better at their craft, and just really, really strong and positive band. Everybody's positive when we get together. We have a really, I think when we just hit the East Coast and play these couple shows, even the crowd just notice like there's a very good energy between band members and to the crowd because we're all on the exact same page. And it's been a long time since Downset has had the whole band really being on the exact same page. So it's really cool.
Well, that's one thing I've always said over the years, that the best bands out there are the bands getting together and enjoying what they're doing on stage together. And, for you to say that you guys are kind of back to that, it really speaks volumes for where you guys are, especially from what I've heard. I know a lot of the bands that played the date you guys did here in Queens just a few weeks ago. I apologize for not being in attendance. I already had tickets put away months ago for KISS out in PNC. But a lot of the bands I know of here in the area, Driven Mad, wanting them on the bill with you guys that night. I heard nothing but good things about it that night from them and what you guys sounded like and the show you guys put on. What was the vibe that you got from coming into the East Coast area and doing that show? How was the vibe for you guys from the audience?
I mean, the East Coast has always showed us love, especially the tri-state area, and I mean we played multiple shows for multiple years, from hardcore shows with Madball to Sunday matinee at CBGB's back in 1994, to playing with Vision of Disorder and Earth Crisis at Urban Plaza, to playing with Biohazards at Roselands in the city. We've had a lot of different experience. We played with Giant Stadium with Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, and Marilyn Manson. We've played at Jones Beach with Linkin Park and Korn. We've had numerous experiences in New York, and all of them, including our recent show in Queens at Blackthorn 51s, was nothing but love from everybody. And we show up there. I have a lot of friends. I have a couple of friends that are rabbis that actually showed up to the show. A couple of our friends in Sworn Enemy came down to the show. My boy Terrace Mayhew from the Cro-Man showed up. It was really good, a really good reception, and just a really cool crowd also. It wasn't in the way our most hardcore show ever in New York, but everyone was rocking out and had fun, and that's what I really liked. It was just like, it was a good time. We played our songs, the crowd participated, everybody had a good time, and just a good night.
Yeah, I said it. I heard from so many that it was a good night. Hearing it from you just solidifies it, and everyone seems to want to talk about how New York maybe lost its edge and isn't what it once was in the world of rock and metal. But I mean, you just spoke volumes right there, being from the LA area. That if you guys can come in here and kind of just take a reign over the area for the night, that just says it all for not only the New York area, but maybe the overall rock and metal scene, in recent years.
And that's really, the One Blood, our whole thing with this album of One Blood is, there's Ray's concept on this is, when you go to see Downset, we have combined hip-hop, and we've combined metal, and we've combined hardcore, and we've combined punk rock, all from its truest form. That was who we were growing up in the streets of L.A. We didn't try to go research any of this and become it. It was just us, and comes out in our music. And at the same time, we bring people that maybe some of them only listen to hip-hop at home. Maybe some listen, we bring people that listen to Wu-Tang and Biggie Smalls at home, people that are listening to Slayer and Lamb of God, and another group of people that are listening to Earth Crisis, the Snapcase, and then we could have another group of people that are listening to D.I. and Black Flag. But they're all coming to Downset, and they're all rocking out together that night. And that's just what we want to show people, is that all these scenes, you don't got to be so hard into your scene and realize that everybody's just listening to music, whether they're listening to the hip-hop, the metal, the hardcore. We're all the same blood, and we're here tonight, and we're having a good time. And that's the message we want to bring to everybody, is it's not about, this is the hardcore scene and forget the other music, and this is the punk rock scene, or this is the metalheads. We're all just human on planet Earth, and we're rocking out and having a good time to a beat, the groove. And what's awesome about Downset is you get that beat in that groove, and then you get a conscious message of social, political, and urban reality that Ray brings. And that's what I love about Ray's lyrics and one part of Downset is because I believe the stuff he says, we're talking about positive things in a world that needs positivity, and that to me is one thing that separates Downset from many others that have done what we've done. Is we're not talking about going getting laid or going who's got the flashy rims or the cool fucking watch or the blah blah blah. Where Ray's trying to say something, what I'm saying, about being positive, bettering your life, or just his different things that he's gone through in his life and things he says affected my life for positivity, you know. So it's just with Downset, you get a lot of different things that you could grab on, and it's positive for a world that needs positivity. That's the way I see it.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, there were so many, there were so many people in this world and in the music industry that they think, they've got to write some song about, being overly rich or overly attractive, or they do these videos that are, over the top, when it really boils down to, when you write material like you guys have done with One Blood that people are able to connect to, that's really what people want. People don't want the stories. They want what they can relate to.
Yeah, where they can heartfelt, where they can feel part of. We want to make our audience just realize, we're just them. The people that come to rock out to our music, we were them. We were rocking out to other people's music back in the, still go to shows. And just now, we're just up here doing our thing, telling you our little story, playing you our grooves and having a good time. That's the main thing too, is friendship on this One Blood. Like, over this time off, people keep asking me, well, what do you guys did? What were you guys doing? And especially when me and Ray, it was like, we were becoming better friends. We became really, really good friends. And it comes across when we hang out together, when we play shows together, when we write music together. And it was important because we have a career that we've done together. So our relationship, I know he's someone I can call to help me out if I need somebody to help me do something in my house, need to move a couch, or if he needs something to help him move, or we're very close friends, and that's very important. Like, it's not like, oh, we're just playing this music together, but outside the music, we write graffiti together, we do art, we do, it's more than just music. It's a whole lifestyle out here that we're doing with Downset, and I think that's a big deal when you have a band with somebody and you've been in the band for, this is pushing 23 years now. Like, he's somebody I can trust around my son, around my family. Like, that's important to me. I like to go over to his house and I went and seen his mom. That was really cool. Or he'll come say hi to my mom. Like, these things they're important in the long scheme of life. Of who you're hanging out with. These are, I feel like all the guys in the band are really good guys and good people, and that's something that makes Downset in 2014 stronger than Downset may have been in the past.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's a key. I mean, it's a key point that you bring up, because so many bands, you look at the bands nowadays. You said some of these bands that have been around for ages. I mean, you look at a band like, just for an example, like the Motley Crue, and they've all got their own tour buses. You don't hear about them hanging out together other than when they have to for PR reasons, or they're putting together a new album. Even when they're on the road, they're not necessarily together, and it speaks volumes for you guys, for Downset, that you're more than a band. You guys are friends and almost family.
Yeah, and that's really important, and I want our fans to know that too. That, like, it is like that, and it's important. And there's other things. Music, the message we purvey in the music and playing the music and playing to everybody, it's very important to us, and it means a lot. And the way that we can do that the best, and the way that I think other people in bands, from my experience, can also do that best, is just remember, at first, you would never have been in a band with somebody probably if they weren't your friend. And me and Ray took it all the way back to that and rebuilt a friendship over years, and then rebuilt writing music. And that's why we're back and we're here today, because it makes sense for the right reasons. And,
right.
We had a great time, man, especially when we played This Is Hardcore. It was like just the emotion that, like, when we looked at when we got up there and we're about to kick it off, and we all caught eye contact with each other, and we realized, like, this was about to go down in Philadelphia. There's This Hardcore, and we set it off. It was like, there was it was just the telepathic communication that we all had. We were one, and we set that sonic groove into the crowd that was undeniable, and it was also due to our friendship, I believe. We looked at each other and we're like, hell yeah, we are up here together today, and we are bringing this. And it was a very unified movement. It was really good.
Yeah, so I mean that also, goes back to what you a key point too, in that it's unity on the stage. That first time you guys, if you think back to the first show you guys ever did, that energy that you guys ever did together the first time you set foot on stage, it's hard to keep that energy and keep that passion, and now for you guys to be able to do that once again with One Blood and get out there and do the dates here on the East Coast, and to find that, that passion, that unity is still there, is just key for you guys as a band, and really for any band out there. And I'm assuming that had a big play when you guys decided to finally sit down and write and start putting together the new album.
Yeah, when we're trying to write, it was just very natural to us, because we realized, we're both, when the whole band same things, what I'm saying, when we'd hang out together, everybody's on the same page, so when we write together, everyone's already on the same page. That was the theory of us when we all started really wanting to do this. That was the theory of just getting everybody on the same page, so that when we write the album, we're already on the same page, because we're compatible outside of music.
Right, yeah, it was just a matter of, taking that compatibility and just throwing it back into the band, is really what you're saying when it came to the writing.
Yeah, it's the key. To me, that's the key to the whole thing. Because when stuff happens naturally, after writing 5 albums with guys, like when stuff happens real naturally and everyone's on the same page and like, yeah, let's go with it, instead of, no, that's, there's not a lot of no's, everything's like, yeah, let's go with it. That's when you got these songs like One Blood that'll come out, and we're all behind it, and it just comes, when we deliver it live, you really get that from it. You're like, oh wow, it's not just Ray up there saying this whole band is saying this One Blood thing off the stage, and it carries a lot more weight.
Well, even on the album, it carries a lot of weight. The way you guys open with the title track of One Blood, it amps you up. There are so many albums nowadays that take that slow lead into the album and what the album is going to be about, and it's like you're 3 songs in before you really start getting a sense of it. And with the album, you guys hit the title track right out of the gate, track 1, and all you hear is that in that opening of the album is just One Blood over and over again till you bring it with the guitars and everything comes in.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like how you see it. I like how that's... Yeah, that was the point. One Blood was when we made the album, we didn't make the album to call it One Blood and then make a One Blood song. When we were pretty much rounding the album up, we looked at our songs, and it was a no-brainer. Ray was like, we're calling this One Blood. And I was like, perfect. I totally agree, and James and Chris agreed. And that was just what we went with. It was obvious that was a very unique and strong song and had a very original Downset characteristic to it. And, it's really, One Blood's a really good song. All I Got may be my personal favorite song on that record. But, One Blood's a really good one.
Well, when you bring up All I Got, why, what does that hold for you that is your favorite off the album?
The delivery of the vocals are very heartfelt. I understand, because Ray explained to me exactly what the song was about. and it's about friends of ours and being there for people, and it just has it's very hard, like the first riff that comes into the song to me was just I play guitar for now 31 years, and that was just a riff that when I played it, and I really kept it in my mind and kept grooving it enough to remember, okay, this is how this is gonna work itself out, and the truncation of the detail work on it. It's just something special to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like a lot of guitars, but to me that guitar riff stands out on the record, to me, the intro of the song, and I really like where Ray took the lyrics on that song, because, with the way that the first verse opens up, when it drops in, it's like, chun, 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 chun. He could have came in rapping, but he kept it with this old school hardcore, like, aggressive commanding or screaming, and it's just that song just has something, like, when I hear it, I feel it. I don't know. I get that from that song, for me personally. And I really like the song Champion too. I like a lot of these songs on this album, but All I Got sticks out to me.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to. I know picking a song sometimes on your favorite album is trying to pick your favorite child. If you've got more than one kind of situation. So I know I kind of put you on the spot with that one, but I had to ask because you brought that one up. So I figured I gotta ask you why.
Yeah, I just felt that like on Do We Speak a Dead Language, my favorite song's Empower. And for the same, from a guitar perspective, I felt that I just had something when I came in with that intro riff. And I feel that same thing on All I Got. Like, I just came with if I was, from a little kid when I'm playing guitar, if I was just picturing, wow, I'm going to be standing on a big stage and get to play this to a field of people, I feel like if they've heard the song All I Got, they would hear that riff come in, they would know there it is. It's like a calling, you know what I mean, that intro. And to me, those are the qualities that I like from that. And again, when Ray came through with what the song is about, and because most of these songs, they're written before we're writing the music, then he's writing the vocals to them. So when he put those vocals over that song, I was like, wow, this one's awesome. That's just great.
Yeah, I mean, the album, from top to bottom, is a very strong album. I was listening to it a lot, like the last week or so. One, getting familiar with it, and really getting familiar with you guys, because as I said, I knew the name from years ago, and I just never really got, you guys got, for me, and so many others, that weren't right away involved on the indie scene level or on the lower level, got lost in the shuffle among some of the other bands that went full-on mainstream. And I've been listening to it, and one of the things is, like you said, that really stands out to me on it is the way you guys are able to just go from the hardcore punk and still have the amazing riffs that you're able to put in to each and every song, on there. You guys manage to find that mix that some bands are missing, some bands are on the verge of getting, and others don't get. And I think you really nail it with this album.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, we really tried to just be ourselves with this record. Like I was saying, like if you go back and do get our first couple records, you hear like, okay, they're staying in the ballpark. We didn't go to the left or to the right. We went right up center field of Downset with this, right to the core of what we could do in 2014 and be what we believed we were in 1992 that allowed us to have a career by making new material that was just really going back to how we started doing it. And that was our main goal with this, it's once again was becoming better friends, because before whoever knew we were going to get signed or whatever, we were friends. we were playing a hardcore band in LA that had hip hop, and we were friends. We'd go out and party at night, and we'd go paint walls in the day, and we just wanted to get to the show and cause a big ass ruckus. That was our goal. It was like, let's get all our friends together and let's set it off. And that was, but that was, once again, I'm saying the core thing was that it was so much friendship. So we realized that 20 years later, that's what we needed to be able to resurrect this and do it again.
Well, you guys definitely managed to have no problem resurrecting it and doing it again with One Blood. And what do you guys got planned now going forward? The album's out. You guys did your dates here on the East Coast. You mentioned it. You've got a date coming up out there in LA. What's the plan for you guys for the rest of 2014 in regards to what you're going to be going out and doing?
We have shows coming up on the West Coast that are starting this Friday night. We're playing Phoenix, then Saturday we're playing LA, which will be the first time we played LA in 9 years. And then we're going to play Las Vegas. After that, we're really trying to figure it out. We want to get to Japan and Australia and then come back to America. That was, a thing we're pretty much all agreeing upon. It's like we'd like to knock out getting to Japan and Australia so we don't put it off forever. And then concentrate on America. And hopefully we could, by November, we're definitely thinking of getting back and doing some kind of tour that would be like sweeping up from Florida through the Midwest, going back up to the northeast, tri-state area, ending it and coming home, and then possibly doing one more week on the West Coast and end the year like that. But we're really looking, for, if we did it ourselves, we want to get a solid opening act. And if we don't do it ourselves, we're sort of looking for the right band to open for. And, and then on the big wish list, next year, we're hoping that we get on this Lamb of God tour when they come back out. That's my goal. It's like, I want to get on that tour. I want to put the Downset grooves down in front of Lamb of God's audience. And I want to get on that stage with Lamb of God and do this, for real. I want to put it down. And that's my goal. Is that, to me, as of now, like, they're probably one of the best, if not the best, in that whole metal upper echelons. And I really dig their band. I dig their singer Randy. I like what they're doing, and I think Downset can bring a groove to their audience. It won't be mathematic metal. It could just be a whole new breath of fresh air, and then they're gonna come on and kill it. It'll be an awesome show for everyone across America. So I'm gonna see what we could do about working something like that out for next year. And as I said, for the end of this year, we're definitely going to try to get across to that Midwest and the Northeast, and that'll probably be somewhere around November. We're just trying to figure out all the exact details before we post it online.
Very cool. I mean, you guys got, it's nice to hear you guys have a game plan. So many bands nowadays, with the way the industry is, kind of just, they go, we have an idea, but they never really say what the idea is. It's usually they're waiting for channels and this and that. You guys have a definite, plan on what you guys want to get done, and that's also a big goal in getting things done, especially the way things are nowadays. And you bring up Lamb of God, and I think about, you guys have come back after 10 years, and in that 10 years time, Lamb of God is one of the bands that have risen to, as you said, the upper echelon of the world of rock and metal. And I wanted to get, from you before I let you go, as I know you're busy, what was the one thing in that 10 years time that you've kind of noticed being gone in regards to the whole scene? What has come to your attention is, I wouldn't have seen that coming, or, what's your take?
Okay, I noticed is, and I noticed it even starting on the turn of 2000, was, that, like, this is another reason for why Raven, I believe, wrote One Blood. I noticed how, like, we're from a rap metal genre, I guess you would say, where it just comes naturally that had hip hop influences, and we had metal and hardcore and punk rock influences, and we blended them together and made Downset. Since 2000, we've noticed how, like, that people started looking, and even in today's time, all the way to 2014, they look different at rap metal, or like, oh, it's not cool, or it's whatever. And it's, you know, we don't do anything to be cool, but we look at how even just the metal scenes have been so much more, you know, you got your black metal more defined, everything's more defined and also seems more separated than it was in the later 90s, if that makes sense to you. Everything's more, you know, in that way of the metal's the metal, the hardcore's over here, it's the hardcore, the punk rock's way over here, it's the punk rock. And it didn't seem as separated to us before. That's what I'd say I'd noticed in the last 8 years that we haven't been playing. Like, it's like you got your black metal tours, you got your Warped Tour where the punk rock or the hardcore might come, you got hip hop tours going around or different things. Like, everything's just sort of separated themselves from each other instead of combining in a way that it seemed it was for a while.
Well, yeah, there was a time when you go back where, I mean, if you look, I remember at some point, I think, again, I'm maybe blurring my lines, but I think one of the Family Value tours was like Limp Bizkit, Korn, Rammstein, and somebody else. And at the time, it made sense, and, you know, I look at it, and it still makes sense looking back on it. But like you said, nowadays, there's more of an abundance of it, but when it comes to actually putting it all together under one banner, it's kind of far and few in between. I think really the closest we got to anywhere of a perfect mix was Mayhem Festival for this year.
Yeah, I guess, you know, Body Count was out there, you had Korn out there, and Avenged Sevenfold. I mean, that Mayhem Festival seems pretty cool for sure of what they're doing. But even just in shows that would come through LA or like other shows, it seems like it's very metal, or it's very hip hop, or it's very straight hardcore. There's not as much combined as earlier, if I say it like that. With I guess that's just where the booking agents and everybody, like, oh, it makes more sense than doing it like this, you know. So I don't know. I mean, I hope, you know, when it comes down to it, that booking agents and other things can see, like, hey, Downset will make sense with Lamb of God. Lamb of God actually used to come watch our shows when we play at Twisters in Richmond, Virginia. You know what I mean? This is just heavy music in two different fashions. So instead of giving the people the exact same thing all night, give them this with little variation, you know, and watch the crowd get rocked. It's just the only time will tell of what different paths we will cross with other musicians and what door we're going to end up walking through to continue our whole One Blood touring. And it's definitely we plan on touring for this album through the end of 2014 and all through 2015 and maybe to 2016, when, as a band goal, our goal would be in the summer of 2016, you know, tail end, we release our 6th record. And now we've already begun to work on a little bit, so we're just going to keep this going. But, yeah, we have a pretty good idea of what we want to try to get accomplished, and we know America is very important to us this time. Now, we haven't, on a lot of our other records, we spent a lot more time in Europe, and we're going to get to Europe, but it's very important to do this in America and really get everywhere multiple times and just begin a solid campaign, a solid base all over again out here.
Well, I can definitely see you guys doing it. It's definitely, we've gotten to a point where, you know, rock and metal is getting back to where it's more accepted here in the States, and I have no doubt that you'll definitely be able to get the shows you're looking for, and everyone here in the States will get to see you guys and can go out there and pick up the brand new album, One Blood from Downset. I definitely think you guys would totally fit with Lamb of God, so I hope that one comes through.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Yeah, well, thank you, Turbo. Thanks for having me on your show. And yeah, thank everybody out there in New York for showing up at our show. We had a great time out there, and we plan on getting back soon.
I will, man. Thank you for taking the time out to do this with me here tonight inside the Asylum. Before I let you go, Ares, I always ask everyone to pick a song from their latest release before to give our listeners what to check out. Would I be correct in assuming All I Got would be what you'd like me to play?
Yeah, throw All I Got at them. That's a great one.
Alright, well, check this one out again. New music from Downset. This is All I Got from their new album, One Blood.